title.
Hello everybody, welcome to another live stream. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope everybody's having a great day. Is the music playing? I don't know. I can't hear it. I don't have my headphones on. Ah, there is music. It's just really quiet. Hello everybody. Sorry for that. Things have been kind of crazy, as you guys can probably tell from my face. Hold on. I don't think I have... hold on. I can't see the chat. I can't see the chat. Hold on, something got messed up and I can't see the chat. Tara, how's it going? Welcome. Ginger Gamer, how you doing? Yeah, I had to. Work demanded it. Work demanded it. Give me just a second, guys. I'm not looking at chat right now. I have to fix this because the chat window that I have set up is not the right chat window. Let me just fix this real quick. View, docs, YouTube chat. Okay, I don't know. It seems to not be working properly. I guess I'll have to just do this. Tara, I posted your first TikTok. What? Do it, man. Awesome. Do it. Hey, Mr. Royal. Hello. Nicholas. Hello. Nice to see you. Orbits. Hello to you as well. Let me get a drink, guys, because I didn't grab a drink. I'm kind of all flustered here. But yes, I had to shave. So some of you know I work in healthcare, and I ended up having to, well, I'm going to have to go into the office to get an N95 mask, which is something they haven't given us at work at all. And they just messaged, I almost spilled my stuff everywhere. They just messaged a couple of days ago asking me to go in with an N95, like to get tested for an N95. And I completely forgot that I needed to be clean shaven, and the fitting is tomorrow. And so I've had to shave my face completely in order for the mask to fit properly, because without that, my mask will not fit. And then it's pointless wearing the mask, really. Hold on just a second though, because the chat is not popping up on my screen. There we go. Okay, now it's working. Okay. You posted it earlier today. Dude, I don't even remember if I'm following you. I know I tagged you, but I don't know if I'm actually following you. So, I'll have to do that right now. Ginger Gamer 1991. Where are you at? Okay, now I'm following you. Haha! You posted your own TikTok and you got over 100 views on it, dude. That's better than I ever did on my first few TikToks. But yes, so I'm clean shaven. I prefer the way I look without facial hair, except for this. This I'm not a fan of, you know. COVID has not been kind to me, but I do prefer the way that I look without facial hair. I personally think it just works better for me. I don't know, but Alana hates it. Alana prefers when I have facial hair. I also still suffer. I also I have teenager beard syndrome where I can't grow a proper beard, but I also have teenager skin and I still get pimples. So I didn't realize that one was there until I was shaving and I nicked a little piece of it and it hurt. Yeah, dude. You do, man. That's actually really good. My first TikTok, I think, got like 45 views, 50 views. It's gotten a few more now that I'm, you know, much larger, but I don't even think it's broken 500 views, my like first couple of TikToks. But yes, so that's kind of what's happening. That's why I have no facial hair now. You know, that's life when you work as a healthcare worker. You kind of have no choice but to do that. And you just deal with it, really. That's all there is to it. Okay, just making sure the Xbox turned on. So if you guys have not been following my TikTok, I just replaced my desk recently. A little insider tip. Be really careful when you are working with a brand new desk. I drilled through it Like I screwed through it with a screw and I ruined the top already. I hadn't even used the table yet, and I was putting in one of those cable racks, and one of the screws was too, well, both screws were too long, and I went through and I cracked the top. So I destroyed the table already, but oh well. But yes, I kind of moved things around, and my Xbox and PlayStation are now up above my setup on a shelf, which I think looks really clean, and the shelf is fairly secure, so it should be good. But now my PlayStation and Xbox are on display in the room, which is really nice. Not display for you guys, but display for me anyway. You posted it during a meeting at work. Oh, business is hard dollars at work right there. Let me see. I'm still kind of like flabbergasted here. I was trying to like set up for the stream. I came home from work and I took like a really small nap. Like 20 minutes maybe, and because I was just so exhausted today. And then I sat down and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna shave now and just kind of dive in head first. You know, like when you have a cold pool and you can go in like slowly and just kind of twinkle in and do it, or you can just jump in and do it. And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna shave now. I was super nervous about it. I was like, I'll use it as a TikTok piece so I can post it on TikTok. I'll shave and I'll go live on stream. And it kind of pushed me behind, and then I was all disorganized and stuff. So that's what happened. I haven't even posted that I'm live on Discord, which I probably should do, since, you know, people may want to watch. They might want to watch the stream, so I should probably do that. Let me comment here on Discord to let everybody know that I'm live. Upcoming streams at everyone. Hey, did I mention I'm live right now? Come look what happened to my face. Jedi Fallen Order. Cool. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, Tara, I was really upset. I was really upset. The one screw came right through and like actually like chipped off the paint from the top of the table, and the other one poked through enough to crack the table, and then I like pulled it out and just kind of hammered it back down, so it's flat but it's all cracked. The other piece is fully missing a chunk, so there's like a big brown piece on my table now. I wasn't too happy, but oh well. That's life. That's life when you're irresponsible like me. Nicholas, I hope you're doing well. Orbits, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Gamer Dodo, hello, welcome to you as well. You're getting a new table today? Nice. Yeah, I went with like an off-brand, like, so there's a store here. For those of you who are not Canadian, there's a computer company, or a computer store company called Canada Computers, and so they sell, that's pretty much where you can exclusively get all computer stuff, at least in this region of Canada. And so that's where I go to get everything, and they had tables. They were the same price as they were on Amazon, for the same size as they were on Amazon, but Amazon was going to take up to 2 weeks to deliver it, and I really wanted to get it right away. So I was like, you know what, I'll just go pick it up. And so I got this one. I like it so far. It's pretty cool. I have to rearrange some things. I tried to do some cable management, which is great, but it's straining the motor. So I'm worried that I'm going to bust the engine on the motor on this thing. So I got to rearrange some of the cable management to relieve some of the pressure on the motor, but I'm pretty happy with it. I like the fact that I can stand up, which I will do later on. I was going to hit the rear command. No, just on Twitch. Just on Twitch. Which is kind of a bummer. At least I think it just... No, but I have the camera unplugged anyway. I could plug it in, I guess. I don't know if it'll work, though. I don't think it works, but we'll try it. Oh, man. But yeah, so it's probably going to be really quiet over here because I completely changed what I'm playing. I normally play Zelda over here, which is not what we're doing today. And so we'll see what happens. We'll chat for a little bit and see if we actually get into the gameplay. I'm still trying to figure out whether I even want to be on YouTube if the support is not very high over here, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm patient. We can keep trying. Okay, so this Xbox seems to be working just fine. Hey, Bala, how are you doing? Welcome. How are things going? I hope you're doing well. Tara is a big sweetheart. Tara is a big sweetheart. Like a training, bro. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like I look really weird because when I smile now, like you can see, I have like... it's not really dimples, but I have like indents that I get when I smile. And so now that I'm shaven, like I can see them really clearly. But I personally like how I look without facial hair. I've always liked how I looked without facial hair, but Alana hates it. A different fact that no one knows about me. When I was 1, I almost died. And not like one of those like, oh, I was in a pool and I almost drowned. Like I'm talking like the doctor said I had less than 24 hours to live, start preparing my burial. Level of almost died. But yeah, for those of you who also didn't see it on TikTok, I had minor surgery. I can't really show it because it's in the corner. So you guys know that I had a mole removed on my elbow, on my right hand, on my right arm, probably about 2 months ago, close to 3 months ago. And so here's the story. Here's the story. I'll tell you in just a second, Orbits. I'll tell you in just a second. So I had this mole that just appeared out of nowhere, and over 6 months it grew really quickly, and it was really dark and kind of weird in shape. And so I went to my doctor, and my doctor's like, it looks like it's nothing, but I don't like how it just appeared and kind of grew out of nowhere. He goes, so I'll send you into a dermatologist. She looked at it and she goes, yeah, I don't like the way that this looks. I don't think it's anything, but I don't like it. So we're going to go and we're going to remove it. And so I'm like, okay. So right then and there, she went and she, you know, cut my arm and just cut the little piece out, and she sent it off to go check if it was the big C word. And then they got it at the lab and somehow they lost it. They had the container, but it was empty. So when they opened it, they must have dropped it and not realized it, and then there goes the sample. So she called me back, and she's like, I have to cut more of your arm open to see if there's some of the mole left so we can check it. So she stamped another chunk out of my mole, out of my arm, which was about the size of a pencil eraser, and she took that off. And then gave me 2 stitches. The first time it was just 1 stitch, second time it was 2 stitches, and she sent it out. When they tested it, there was nothing there. There was none of the mole was there. So they're like, we can't see whether it was cancerous or not because you removed all of it last time. So then she's like, you know what? I don't feel comfortable. I'm going to send you to a plastic surgeon and he can decide what to do. So she's like, I'm probably going to suggest that they take like a 2-inch piece from your elbow. And I'm like, okay. And so we went. And I went, and I thought it was just a consultation. Like he was going to tell me what they were planning, and then, you know, if I was going to need a graft or something, because the chunk is considerable size. And then right then and there, he's like, all right, lay down on the table. I'm going to remove it right now. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I'm going to remove it. And I'm like, okay. And so I asked him, I'm like, do you think I should get this removed? Like he seemed kind of like, yeah, I'm here to remove this. And I'm like, do you think it's even worth it? And he goes, look, here's the thing. In 5 years, if it is cancer, he goes, in 5 years, that will lead to a lot of problems if I leave the cancerous skin there. He goes, if it's nothing, then you're just going to end up with a scar. But if it's something, 50-50 chance that removing it is going to stop that from turning into something, or 5 years down the line, we're going to find it anyway. He goes, so I'd rather remove it and at least raise your risk of, or lower your risk, raise your chances of it being nothing. So we'll just do it. I was like, all right. And so they took off a chunk I wasn't expecting. I got like 5. I counted 5 stitches. He said it was going to be 4. I definitely counted 5, but I got distracted, so I don't know if it was as many as 6. But I'm in a little bit of pain today. It hurts, but that's life. How can you just drop that and then skate right over it? That's because that's how crazy I am. So let me tell you guys about what happened. So in El Salvador, back in the 80s, 1986, I think is when it was. I think it was 1986. They had a really, really big earthquake. They had another one later on in like 2003. I think there was another really, really big one, but there was a big one back in 1986. It was like a 7.5 on the Richter scale. It was a massive earthquake. And if you guys don't know anything about El Salvador, it is a country in Central America. It's the smallest country in Central America, and it's a very poor country. It's technically a third world country, and the earthquake destroyed a lot of buildings and killed thousands of people. And so all the dead bodies that were there was a lot of disease that was going around from it. And so I caught the disease. I can't remember which one it was, but it was, I can't even remember what it was, but it's one of those ones that you only hear about in like the 1800s, or in third world countries like diphtheria or something. It was something crazy like that. And so they couldn't get me to keep anything down. They couldn't hydrate me. All my veins have always been really weak, so they couldn't get an IV into me. They got one in my forehead, and I still have a tiny scar from where they got the IV into my forehead. And basically, like, I was basically on life support. So they were trying to hydrate me, and they overhydrated me. And the thing is, when you get overhydrated, and we're talking extreme overhydration, you can get heart failure. So I got heart failure. My heart wasn't working properly. I was on death's door. The doctor pretty much said there was nothing they could do. They were just going to hydrate me and hope that I could bounce back. And that night, the doctor, my mom used to work at that hospital. The doctor called my mom, and she's like, you need to call your husband. My dad was in Mexico at the time. And he's not Mexican. He was there because he was planning to move to Canada. And he was in Mexico. My mom called him. Now, the way things were back then, they had to call an operator. Well, they didn't have a connection into Mexico, so she literally took the phone my mom was calling from, and she called Mexico from the other phone, and then held them upside down and together so they could talk to each other. And basically, the doctor told my mom that I wasn't going to make it over, like, past the night, that my heart was going to give out. There was nothing they could do, and that my dad needed to get back to El Salvador, and that they needed to start preparing for me to be buried because I was going to be dead within 12 to 24 hours. And somehow, through some fluke of nature, I bounced back, and I'm fine. I mean, I have heart problems now. They didn't affect me my whole life until recently, and here I am. That's the story. That's what happened. Vortex, how's it going? Welcome. Jake, hello to you as well. I hope, yes, I think it was cholera specifically. I think it was cholera specifically, Tara. Exactly, Tara. He's like, yeah, just 4 stitches, and then distracted me for the last ones. It didn't hurt while he was doing it, but today it does. I can feel the stretching and stuff. It was not fun. But yeah, Ginger, it was like, I grew up knowing that story. I grew up that, like, oh, you almost died when you were little. And, you know, my mom always kind of makes it into a joke, because she's like, you know, they told me you were dead, like you were gonna die, and I'm crying and I'm talking to your dad. She goes, and in the morning when I walked into the room to see you, you were sitting there screaming and banging on the railing of the crib, and you were standing up and you were perfectly fine. Obviously it didn't happen like that, but that's kind of how she tells the story, that I was on death's door and the next day I was perfectly fine. But yeah, like, I bounced back and I was perfectly fine. I never had any problems. And then when I was in nursing school, we were doing assessments and, you know, taking vitals and everything. And then they started noticing that my vitals were way off. And so I went to the doctors. They ran a bunch of tests. I definitely have some heart problems. And then when I was talking to my mom, she got into the details of what happened, because I had no idea what had happened. And so the doctor had asked all of my history. So I was asking my mom, and she's like, yeah, she's like, well, you know, you did have heart failure when you were a baby. I was like, what? And then she kind of explained the story in detail, because it was always just like, you were sick, everybody died, the water was poisoned, you got sick from that, and then you were at the hospital and almost died. That's as far as we ever really went in with it. And then when she got into details, it's like, yeah, no, my heart was failing. I was literally about to die. Jake, we're going to be playing Jedi Fallen Order today. You should be able to see it right below this window. You tested yourself off your sister's bunk bed and broke your collarbone. Ouch. 3 eye surgeries. What were the eye surgeries for, if you are okay with sharing that? I broke my collarbone too. My mom used to work night shift, and she came home, and we were on the bed. We had just moved to Canada, and we were on the bed early in the morning, and she fell asleep, and I was playing with my car, and I dropped my car, and I reached down to get it, and I fell off the bed. And so she woke up with, obviously, me falling down and crying, and man, whatever, like, she picked me up and I was fine. And, you know, I cried a little bit and she soothed me and I was fine. At the end of the day, you know, in the evening when she went to go shower me, she took my clothes off, and then she saw that I started crying as soon as she lifted my arm up. And then when she took the shirt off, my collarbone was all broken. And so she fixed that. I also sometimes, I don't know if you can see it on stream, but in real life, if you ever watch me, I tend to do this. I tend to lean my head. When I was born, the tendon on the left side of my head, like of my neck, was slightly shorter than the right. So now I just naturally pull to one side. So I was an interesting child. I was an interesting child. Oh man. Your lazy eye, clearly the eye surgeries didn't work because I still have it. I had a girl in my religion class. I went to a Catholic school growing up, and in high school I had a girl in my religion class. I remember the first time I saw her lazy eye, I was so shocked because I had never seen one in my life. And you know, like when I thought of lazy eye growing up, I don't know why, I pictured like the droopy eyelid, so that's what I thought a lazy eye was. And then the one day her and I were talking, and she was goofing off and like telling me like a funny story of something that had happened, and then slowly her eye drifted off, and I didn't know how to react because I had never seen something like that happen. And I went home, I'm like, mom, this happened. She goes, oh yeah, it's a lazy eye. I was like, I had no idea. This is at 14 years old. Like I should have known by then, but I had no idea. That must have been so painful though, dude. Like, that sucks. And it sucks that it didn't do anything, so you went through all that pain for nothing. Gamer Dudo, I've never played or watched Star Wars, so going to be the first time I see a Star Wars game. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I started playing this because it's like Dark Souls and I love it. And my friend were playing COD Zombies and I fell off his bunk bed and landed on the corner of his table. Ouch, Vortex, that sounds painful. Youngest broke his collarbone, school playground, and they thought he was fine. Then he got home, mom was like, can you lift your arm? I was like, no. Oh, geez, Tara. Ouch. So many head injuries, now I have a tick where it looks like I'm saying no. Really? Huh, interesting. Yeah, I was always a very like I wasn't a big risk taker. I was a risk taker as a child, like from 7 till about 12 I was a big risk taker, and then I stopped. I became one of those like cool guys, but like the pretty boy cool guys, so I wouldn't risk anything because, you know, if I injured myself, no way. And I'm a wimp for pain. So I didn't do sports, I didn't do anything risky, so I never had any major injuries growing up. My injuries came as an adult, and they usually came due to theater. So I've got a few injuries, but nothing to write home about. You don't remember the pain much anymore? That's still terrible, though. But can we all agree that the worst pain is stubbing your toe? Oh my god, is it ever? Is it ever? Because she has a tick where she looks like she's nodding. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's awesome. Oh, that's great. You guys are meant to be. You guys are meant to be. That's awesome. Oh, man. Yeah, if it's your pinky. If it's the other ones, it's not so bad. I'll go pinky and the one next to it. The toe ring finger. Because like when you split them, that can really hurt. But stubbing is painful. Stubbing is painful. Oh, you're meant for each other. That's perfect. That's so perfect. Stepping on Lego in the dark. Stepping on Lego is pretty painful. That is pretty painful. I once stepped on a cord, you know, like the 2-prong cords. I stepped on one of those and actually broke the skin on my heel. That was painful. That was really, really painful. I'll one-up you though, Ginger. You know what did hurt a lot more than stepping on Lego? My parents had bought a bed, and they put their box spring outside, and it broke just in the process of like putting it outside and stuff landed on it. And the place that I grew up in, it used to be a triplex. We turned it into a duplex, and my aunt lived upstairs. We lived on the main floor in the basement, and our front door was the back of the house, and you would walk out the front door, and immediately to the right of us was like a little cement hut almost. It was the doorway to the basement, and we used to like jump up on there and like joke around and stuff. And we had an old video camera, like the ones that go on your shoulder, you know, the old VHS cameras, and we were playing with it. And like I always loved making videos and stuff, so my brother and I were playing with it, and the camera would glitch out and record in slow motion sometimes. And so we were goofing off and recording like Mortal Kombat fights and stuff, and I jumped off of that, and it was probably like a good 6 or 7 foot drop into the main backyard, and the bed was there, and I landed on the bed, but I didn't realize that one of the 2x4s had come undone and 2 nails were sticking up. Landed right on the 2 nails. That was painful. That was painful. Where's the story going? It's going everywhere. It's going everywhere. And when I was 12 years old, you wanted to return your kid for a refund? I would too. I would too. Like, I want my money back. I want my money back, or I want, you know, I want it to be upgraded. Welcome back, Vortex. Hello, Josh. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Your poor mother. My mom, because she was a nurse, she was like the polar opposite of most moms. Like, so I broke my toe. I'm convinced I broke my toe because I'm not going to show you guys because I don't want you guys to get all, you know, foot fetishy on me. But I have, you know, most toes are like your fingers. They go straight, right? But I've got one toe that goes like straight, and then at this part of the knuckle, the toe now suddenly goes like this. So you can just see specifically where I broke it. And when it happened, I remember it happening, and I remember it being so painful to walk. And my mom just kept telling me I was exaggerating, that I was just being a drama king. I broke both my ankles, and the same thing happened there. So I broke both my ankles. Now I was an adult at this point. I broke both my ankles. I was living at my parents' house. It was right after college, and I drove myself home. I had a stick shift at the time, and I ran every single red light on the way home. I like was crying driving home because the pain was so bad, because I was also like half an hour away from home, so I couldn't even like leave my car and ask my parents to pick me up. Rehearsals had ended at like 1 in the morning, and so I went home and I crawled from my car to the front door and banged on the door. My mom opened it because I couldn't reach the handle to open it, and she just said I was being dramatic. And so I went downstairs and I stayed in bed for 3 days. I couldn't move. And again, her just telling me I was being dramatic and whatever. I probably twisted my ankle, and I'm just trying to act like it's a big deal. And then eventually I went to the doctors, and when I went to the emergency room, and the emergency room x-rayed it, and they're like, yeah, it's broken, but it's too late now. There's nothing we can really do. And the breaks are small enough that it's literally just, you're gonna have to put a cast on it, and that's it. And they're like, so go to your family doctor and get them to prescribe everything that you're gonna need, and blah blah blah. And so I went to the family doctor, and he confirmed. He's like, yeah, both your ankles are broken. But my mom was always like, it's no big deal. You exaggerate. All the time. Hitting your knee is a natural death sentence. When I was like 4 or 5, I stepped on glass. I could not walk for like 2 weeks. Yeah, that's painful too. That is painful too. Oh, it's getting warm in this room. It's getting warm in here. Exactly, Tara. Exactly. That's her thinking. She's always been like that. It's always been you're exaggerating. It's no big deal. You're exaggerating. It's no big deal. And so now, like, I've had most of my nursing training, and I'm the polar opposite. I'm like, Mom, you need to take this more seriously. It's a big deal. Oh man. You haven't broken a single bone? So I have broken my 5th metacarpal joint. Like down here, there's like a bunch of little bones, and I broke one of the bones in my pinky section. So I broke that. I broke both my ankles. I broke my collarbone, and then I broke my toe. So I've done enough. I've done enough. The collarbone, I don't remember. I was like 2 when it happened, so I don't remember that at all. The toe, I was probably about 8 or 9 when that happened. I remember the pain, but I don't really remember. I remember the initial pain. I don't remember how long it took to heal or anything. The first like big break that I had that I remember is my ankles, and that was not fun. That was not fun at all. I'm good, Josh. I'm good. I'm gonna have to open that window. It's getting really warm in here. Give me a second. Give me a second, folks. And then we'll get started on gameplay. There's a lot of wind, so we're gonna get a little bit of sunshine in that corner, but I'm okay with that. I get a free pass. Oh man, a kinda thick? Only kinda? Bro, I'm like J-Lo, all right? I'm like J-Lo. Do I ever get pain in my throat where everything I swallow hurts? Yeah. But yeah, that's my history. That's my history. But I've like as an adult, I tend to push quite hard. Like I don't I don't let injuries stop me. Like they told me when I got this not to have any kind of like major physical work, and my work's all physical, so no chance of that happening. And when I broke both my ankles, so here's the story time. I'll tell you this story time and then we'll start gaming. So the way I broke my ankles is, most of you know I do theater. I trained professionally. I have done a lot of shows on stage, and I've acted for years. And so I was doing Rocky Horror. At this point, I had gotten a hospital job, and it was the best paying job I had ever had up until then. And so I didn't want to give up the job, so I kind of gave up acting for a little bit. It was one of those, like, I'll give up for a year, make some money, and then move out to Toronto and pursue it full time. I started working there. It was about 3 months into me working there, and my friend started her own theater company with her husband. And they decided that they wanted to do the Rocky Horror Show. And if you guys don't know the Rocky Horror Show, it's like a really, really classic Halloween show. It's basically a show all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And so they wanted to do the show, and they asked me if I'd be willing to take part. And I said yes, but I was working at a really good place. I couldn't just give up the job, so I couldn't do full time. Like, I could switch out with one of the characters like every other weekend or whatever, or, you know, take it on for a couple of weeks and then that's it. And so they asked me for every other performance to play Eddie. If you guys have seen the show, Eddie is Meatloaf's character. If you haven't seen the show, he comes on, sings a song, and that's it. Traditionally, he sings a song and plays one of the other characters throughout the show, but the production we were doing, he only sings the song and that's it. And so I signed on to do that. And so we're doing rehearsals, and they're working on getting this show together. It's been months and months, and obviously I'm singing one song, so I'm not really at any of the rehearsals. I'm showing up to do some photography on my days off, but I'm not really rehearsing with them. And then about 5 weeks before, I want to say it was 5 weeks, 4 weeks before opening night, the guy playing Frankenfurter, who was the lead character, for those of you who don't know, Frankenfurter is a transvestite, and I'm not saying that as like a discriminatory term. That's just what the character is referred to as. And so this guy was going to play this role, and he had played it many times, and they got into a fight. Basically what had happened was he was helping start this theater company, so they were going to be a three-way owners, and he borrowed $5,000 from his parents to invest into this company, and then gave the company $1,000. And then when the parents spoke to the other two partners, they found out that he had stolen $4,000. So the parents confronted him. He turned around and confronted the partners, my two friends, and it just made a huge mess. So my two friends said they didn't want him to have anything to do with the show, or pay back the money. And so he called their bluff and said, fine, whatever, you can't have a show without me anyway. And he walked out. And he sent a few messages along the lines of like, good luck putting on a show without Frankenfurter. And so my friend called me, and she was bawling her eyes out that day that it happened, like devastated, because they had invested all this time and money in building this theater, and then their lead character is gone. And so she said, can you just play him for a couple of weeks while we find another actor? We're 3 weeks away from opening night. You know the show. You can can do it, please. I know you can do it. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it for a temporary amount of time. So I started rehearsing and everything, and then I spoke to my job, and I asked them if I could step down for a few weeks from my position and just be casual while I did this. And my manager pretty much said, do what you want. And I was like, okay. And so then I was mid rehearsals. We rehearsed for 1 full week so I could start learning the show, and then we went out and got my costume pieces. Now, if you guys have never seen the show, sorry, I'm not reading chat. I'm ignoring it right now because I got to try to get it all out. If you guys have never seen the show, Frankenfurter wears a corset and fishnets and high heels. And so they went and got me high heels, and I've always been super confident about my ability to learn things. So they got me like real, like we're talking like 6 or 7 inch heels with like the stiletto style, and I wore it for like 3 days rehearsing, and it was fine. It was a little bit like, sometimes I'd be a little bit wobbly, but most of the time I was fine. And then we're doing the one scene, and in one of the scenes, the Eddie scene specifically, Frankenfurter chases Eddie with a chainsaw. Somebody had spilled some water while we were rehearsing, and I didn't see it, and I slipped and broke both my ankles 3 weeks before opening night. So they started prepping another kid to do the role, a kid who did not have any business playing the role. He was far, far, far too... he just had certain mannerisms that wouldn't work for the character. And so they were prepping him, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And so the doctor told me when I went to see him finally, he ended up telling me that I needed to be on bed rest for 2 weeks. Then I needed to have my air cast on and use crutches for 2 more weeks, and then to be with a cane for 3 weeks, and then I should be okay. Well, we opened in 3 weeks. And so I used my crutches through all of rehearsals, and then the plan was I was going to use my cane opening night. I went on stage without my cane opening night, and I did the show. And I remember that night, opening night, I cried on stage. Nobody could see me. Frankenfurter, spoiler alert, if you guys want the show to not be spoiled, don't listen right now. In 3, 2, 1. Frankenfurter dies at the end, so my character gets killed at the very end of the show. And the way that the stage was set up, the person who kills me stands above me and sings a song, and one of the lines that he says is just it's just a step to the right, and he stomps as the guitar like riffs, and he stomped right on my more injured ankle. And so I was like crying as I'm laying there dead. It was horrible. It was horrible. It sucked. But that's what happened with my ankles. But I've always pushed myself. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, and I did it, and I've caused permanent damage. It's to the point where like if the floor is slightly uneven, I'll go down, which kind of sucks, and I get really bad ankle pain, especially on my left ankle, all the time. We don't want gameplay, we just want to talk. My grandpa once dropped hot glue on my head once. Ouch. I couldn't walk, so we went to the hospital. I remember breaking my leg jumping off stairs because it's always jump off the stairs and nothing would happen next. Ouch. Nikki, I appreciate you stopping by to say hi. Have a good sleep. I went and checked the mail a couple of days ago, still nothing, so I'll be checking it again probably on the weekend. You got a concussion from dying in Les Mis. Ouch. So you guys know Preston that comes into the chat. He never got diagnosed because he never went to the hospital for it, but we're all pretty positive he got a concussion doing Grease. Rebel, how's it going? Hey, Rigo. On YouTwitch, it was amazing. I had 1 billion people, but remember, no self-promo. Oh, man, Rigo, how's it going, man? Rebel, I'm doing really well. I hope you are doing well too. But yeah, that's how I received the injuries I received. Such is life, you know? That's what happens. Oh my god, me too, Rigo. Me too. Me too. I'm so excited. It made you hate it? I loved it. I loved it. When I did Grease, I met Preston, and I met a lot of my friends that way. I really enjoyed Grease because it was a really challenging show. I lost a ton of weight doing that show because we did a very physical version of the show, and the guy that we did the show with actually did Grease, like the original production, like the original show, like the launch of the show. He was in that, and it was really cool to see that. He was awesome. So he directed us the way that they did the show, and they did like a real top of the line production of it, and it was cool. It was really cool. Chadley, how you doing? How are you? Head first, stood up and then immediately collapsed on the ice. Ouch, that sounds like a severe concussion. Outside, ooh, ouch. That's horrible, Ginger. That's horrible. I can understand not liking it. So I played Duty, and I don't know if you guys did the rendition with, you know, Duty's music, or if you guys did more like the film version where they cut out that stuff, because I've seen both scripts on stage, and I played Duty, and I remember the one part that was really hard is during the high school dance. You know, we would do the big number during the high school dance, and we would wear our full, you know, outfit. And in that show, there's that really quick change where basically like the characters all go off stage at the end, and then there's like a couple of lines that are delivered, and then some of the guys come back on stage, and it's when Duty runs into Frenchie, and so I I remember being in full costume, and the worst part was we were doing it, and I'm wearing like a full like 3-piece suit and a giant bow tie because that's the way that we played our duty. And because most people don't realize that Duty, the reason his name is Duty is because he looks like Howdy Doody. I was miscast completely. Duty was supposed to be like red-headed freckles. Hey, Ginger. And his part is amazing. Yeah, his part's great. And so the way that it's traditionally written, Duty isn't part of the T-Birds. He's not part of the group. He's the kind of like it's Saved by the Bell. Zach and AC are like really cool guys, and then there's Screech, who's like the nerdy guy that kind of just hangs out with them, and they like him, but he's not cool like they are. That's what Duty's supposed to be. He's supposed to be the goofball that hangs out with the T-Birds but isn't a T-Bird. And traditionally when he's singing Magic Changes, he's supposed to put his leather jacket on and sing like he's actually cool, and then at the end he doesn't have a leather jacket, and basically he shouldn't have a leather jacket until the very end of the show. And so that's how we played him. And so I had my 3-piece suit, but I also had my Duty outfit underneath the 3-piece suit, because the way we had blocked it was I was the second to last person to leave the stage, and then I was the very first person back on stage. And so I think they counted it down to 23 seconds to fully change from a 3-piece suit to jeans and my button-up shirt and then my running shoes and everything. It was that part I hated. That part I detested. And Preston was one of the ones that did the quick change with me. And there was one time he walked out on stage and his shirt was backwards. It was great. It was great. All right, Gamer Dudo, no problem. Yeah, Tara, I'm a huge theater nerd. Huge theater nerd. I mean, I went to college for it, right? I went to Fanshawe, and I took theater there. Not a great school to go to theater for, but that's where I went to theater school. And yeah, I did almost 10 years of like really hardcore acting. About 8 years of like pursuing it pretty fiercely, and then I kind of fell off of it. Wesley, how's it going? Welcome. Thanks for being here. I was lucky during that scene because I was Kaneki, so you got kicked out of the dance contest really early. Oh, yeah. So our casting was everywhere. So they were looking at me for Kaneki. So I did the audition. It was the first time I had auditioned with this company. They didn't know me, and I walked in and I did my number. But I didn't look like a Danny. The problem was the director had already asked somebody to play Danny, so he wasn't really looking for a Danny to begin with. He picked a strawberry blonde, well, not strawberry blonde. It was like between redhead and brown, you know, that like in between color where it's mostly brown, but it's still very red. And he had freckles, light skinned. He picked that guy as our Danny Zuko. And he does not have the Danny Zuko energy. Like if he was a really strong Danny Zuko, I'd be like, yeah, cool. But he was really awkward on stage. He didn't have that like natural confidence, like, yo, what's up, right? It was very much like the, hey bros, what's up, man? Like very forced. Great actor, but terrible at Danny. But he had already pretty much been pre-cast. So when I auditioned, I had no chance of that. But they didn't know me. So I auditioned, I did my song, and then he had me come back and read for Kaneki, and he kind of liked my Kaneki, but then he also had me read for Duty, and so I played it like the way you see them in the movie, like being like the jerks, right? And it was all like, yo, what's going on, Danny? And then he's like, no. He goes, I want you to play him like super nerdy, like you're so excited to see Danny, like he's the coolest kid in school and you're the biggest loser. And so I can kind of do the voice. I can't do the laugh anymore because I used to have like a really high like a really high pitched laugh. But when I did it, I was like, hey Danny, how you doing, man? And he loved it. And so he's like, all right, and he pulled me aside and he's like, can you do this? And you know the high-pitched notes at the end of Magic Changes? He had me do that, and I was like, yeah, no problem. And I did it like in my sleep. I can't do it now, but I did it in my sleep. And then he's like, all right. And so he put me in as basically what had happened between the moment that he saw me as Kaneki and then tried to get me to be Duty was he had cast me as Kaneki. We found this out later. He had cast me as Kaneki, and he had cast one of the other guys as like the VJ or whatever, the guy that's like at the party, that's like the cool dude, right? Vince Fontaine, I think. And so there was somebody else that he wanted in the show, and he was too old to play any of the T-Birds, but he was like too young to play any of like the old characters, and so they put him as Vince Fontaine. And then the guy that he originally had as Vince Fontaine, he didn't have anywhere to put him, but that guy was phenomenal. So he put him as Kaneki, and then I got bumped over to Duty, and it caused a chain reaction. And the guy who ended up playing Kaneki hated it. He hated playing Kaneki. He was a phenomenal Kaneki. He hated playing Kaneki. He hated the show. He was only doing it for his love of theater. And he still, to this day, tells me that was the worst show he was ever in. Hobby theater when you were much younger. Me and a girl who played Cha-Cha tried to get more and more adult for the scene to see how far we could take it before we got in trouble. Oh man. So our Cha-Cha and what's his name, Danny Zuko, they were married. There was so much drama in that show, so much like real life drama in that show. So Danny and Cha-Cha were married in real life. The girl that was playing Sandy was brand new. She had just joined like I did. I remember my first impression of her was horrible, and then we became really good friends, and then my final impression of her was horrible. When we met, you know, they gave us the call back and everybody got their roles, and we all got to stay in chat because we were going to talk about rehearsal schedules and stuff. And so we're all excited, and I'd never met anybody. I knew Preston from the audition, but I didn't know anybody else. And so we're all like, you know, sharing who we are and blah, blah, blah. And then she comes up and she's like, "Hi, I'm Stephanie. What's your name?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm Luis." And she goes, "So who'd you get cast as?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm Duty." She goes, "Oh, well, I'm Sandy." And then she walked away, and I was like, what a bitch. But we became friends. And then later on, she just did a lot of really disrespectful things around me, and I just wasn't a fan of her. But yeah, so our Sandy started leading on our Danny, and then they almost had a thing together, but then Cha-Cha was kind of involved, and Sandy played the victim, and then I got to know Cha-Cha really good over the years. And Cha-Cha was like completely innocent of everything, but the girl that played Sandy convinced us that Cha-Cha was like attacking her and stuff. It was such a mess. You had a ton of drama and a ton of showmances. There's a lot of drama too. So when we did it, that was the one big piece of drama. And then I was like head over heels for the girl that played Frenchie. And then Preston, being much handsomer than I and much more likable than I, he started dating her. And I was pretty upset about it because I really liked her. And then they dated for a little bit, and then they ended up breaking up or whatever. But there was that, and then that was pretty much it. Everybody else just became really good friends. The reason Greece was ruined for me is closing night. I did the show. My makeup lady, we had like specific makeup ladies that would always do our makeup, and I like fell in love with the way that this one lady used to do my makeup, and she always did my makeup, and she'd always talk about her daughter, and her daughter was also an actor and blah blah blah. And so she told me that night her daughter was coming to the show, and so I made the joke. I'm like, "Ooh, is she cute?" She said, "Keep your hands off my daughter," and whatever, like all joking. After the show was done, we all had our cast party at a restaurant. I went to the restaurant early because I was super excited. I was super outgoing then. And I was at the restaurant. I'm getting all ready and whatever. And then in walks in, at the time, the most beautiful girl I had ever seen. And she walks in, and it was one of those, I was on such a high from such an amazing performance run that we had that I just went up and started talking to her, and I like put on the confident thing, and I got her phone number, and then she left, and then my makeup lady showed up, and I was talking to her, and then I was like, "Yeah, I met this girl and blah blah blah," and she goes, "Oh really, what was her name?" And I'm like, "Megan," and she goes, "That's my daughter." I was like, "Uh-oh." Like, I have a date with her. And she got like, she kind of poked fun, but that's where I met Megan, and it was the worst experience I ever had in my life. So Greece is ruined for me, because if it wasn't for Greece, I would have never met Megan, and I'd probably still be a really outgoing person now, but such is life. I had like 2 chorus members try to make moves on me insanely forward. It made me super uncomfortable. 1 because I was married, 2 because both were young. Oh yeah, I've had that happen. It doesn't happen anymore. Thankfully, but I had that happen before. You know, they'd be like 16, 17, and I was like 21, 22. And it's just like, it's uncomfortable. It's really awkward, and it's just like, please no, I'm just being friendly. Now what happens, I did Matilda, and there were 2 young girls that were like super friendly with me and would come up and give me hugs and everything. And then what did they say? Instead of like, oh, we have such a big crush on you, you're just like my dad. That's what happens. So at least now that's what I have to deal with, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being people's dad. I mean, I'm not because it makes me feel old, but I am because at least it's not like that. You know what I mean? One was 19. You were 26. Okay, the 19 to 26. Yeah. But 16, yeah. Yeah, 16 is, yeah. But it's, there's something about, like, doing a show, I guess because you spend all your time with those people. When you're younger, it's really easy to, like, get feelings for somebody. But yeah, that was my theater experience. That was my theater life. That's what we did. Even when I wasn't a mom, I didn't mind being a crush object. I wasn't very often. I was when I was much younger, but it didn't happen very often. I remember I was just talking to Alana about this recently, actually. So when I was in theater school, that was a mess of hormones. Like, it was horrible. I was one of the older students. Most of them were like 18 and 19, and I was 22. And so I was the older guy. There was me and like 3 others that were over the age of 20. And so one girl was 25, the other guy was 23, I was 22, and then everybody else was like 19 years old. And so we were the older ones, right? But I was telling Alana, theater school had a really deep impact on my self-esteem as far as my looks are concerned. Because when I was in theater school, every single student slept with at least one of the other people in our program, except for me. And I don't mean like I wish I would have been sleeping around, but like everybody was interested in somebody and nobody was interested in me. And like I wouldn't have slept with any of the people in my program because I don't like messing with a place that I'm, you know, you don't want to where you eat type of thing. But like it would have been nice to be wanted. And I wasn't. I was the only one. We had 2 kids that like had severely poor hygiene. Like we had emails once a week being sent out because their hygiene was so severely bad, and they had flings and nobody wanted me. That was really tough on my self-esteem. I remember by the end of the 2nd year, my self-esteem was through the floor. Like it was horrible. It was horrible. Grease, Les Mis, Why I Stopped Acting. They were back to back in Oklahoma summer, and I was always away from your wife and your kid way too much. It's a stream crush. Oh man, I like 20 people right now. Yeah, I've got a lot of stream crushes. A lot of stream crushes. But yeah, that was the thing with theater. There's always drama involved. The last few shows that I did, there wasn't, but that's because I was disillusioned with theater, and so like I stayed away from the drama that did exist. I had a lot of potential as an actor, and I wasted it, and so I've kind of been relegated to doing shows with people who think way too highly of themselves, if that makes any sense, and don't have the talent to back it up. So it's just kind of like I'll just like half do my job and just go in, phone it in, and leave, because I just let my theater kind of fall apart, you know. You just want your stream to look like mine. It's been a lot of work, man. A lot of it is lighting, though. A lot of it is just lighting, really. And then, like, my overlays are all super, super minimal. Like, if you look at this overlay, it's really hard because I can't see myself the way that I want. This isn't the right window, that's why. If you look at my overlays, like, honestly, all I did was just, like, can I even show you manually? Yeah, so, like, it's literally just a square with, like, a thick part at the bottom. And I made it translucent so you can kind of see my hand under here. And that's all it really is. Like, that's... And then it's just the lighting. And then I added, like, a cool logo. You know, like, I made my logo there and then just added a bit of information. That's all it is. And it's the same thing with my main page. It's literally my little square and that's it. Everything else is just lighting. It's seriously just lighting. But yeah, you'll get there, man. You'll get there. It'll take time. right? You're gonna learn how the lighting looks better and how it doesn't. Like, I'm still working on what I want my lighting to look like. It's getting closer to what I want, but not 100%. It makes me look spicy. Spicy. I should probably watch my stream to make sure that everything's running the way that I want, because this monitor has horrible colors, and as of right now, it looks like I'm super overexposed. It looks okay. Lots of double chins going on, but that's okay. My lighting is poor, but that's due to the room choice. Yeah, and like, even if you can't move rooms, having just some kind of light hit you really helps. It does a lot. And then you can mess with the settings to make it look nicer, right? Like, my big thing that I always harp on, if I go right to the main camera itself, the big thing that I harp on is this. Where is it? Filters. Like, just that little, it's a tiny detail, but that just makes the colors pop just a little bit more, just to make them look nicer, right? And then, like, my lighting is literally this softbox that's here, which you don't need a softbox, but like a light that's like a bit above and 45-degree angle to my face, and then a light that's back there that's lighting, you know, this. And that's it. And it adds just enough to add like some shadows around my face and everything, and accentuate that double chin a little more, you know? But that's really it. And then it's my settings. I mess with the settings on the camera to make them, you know, pick up the lighting properly. And then I lit my background. Those two lights right there, those are my big saviors. That one and that one. And that's one of my cables I forgot to put away. But those are my big saviors there. Those two make a huge difference for how the background looks. Hello, Ninja. How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, and that's literally all it can take, Tara. Even a ring light is more than what I started with, honestly. And there's some like really nice looking lighting. If you check out Strawberry, her lighting is from ring lights, and they look amazing. And you can get ring lights cheap. I don't have it in here anymore. Oh, no, it's right here. Haha, it is right here. This ring light. It cost me like $30, and it was this exact setup. This stand with that, and then the USB thing to plug it in. 30 bucks. And I don't use it just because I don't really need it, but like, it's great. And I can like choose how warm it is, and I can brighten it and darken it. So now it just works as my phone stand. But yeah, I originally started with clamp lights, and like I actually like clamped them and they lit me. I made my own lights too for a while. So like, it's just about getting light on you. And not like one light above your head, because that's always the worst light, but just getting some light on you that's somewhat controlled. And I'm good, Ninja. I am good. We are about to start playing. We're going to hang out and play some Jedi Fallen Order. You'll be getting more eventually. Yeah, you just gotta like I have a ton of lights back there, you know, because I've got the strip, the RGB strip, which goes around the window that you can see, and then it goes underneath the floor, like on the floor there. So I've got that RGB strip, and it goes up the wall. Ugh, it's so hard backwards. So it goes on the floor and then up the wall. And the other one goes around the window, so that's why this whole area is really red. And then I've got this IKEA lamp with the bulb in it. And then those two floodlights and the moon. And that's it. The moon doesn't need to be there. I just have it because I bought it and I want to use it. But that moon doesn't need to be there. And I have the red and blue to have that contrasting color, and then I'm natural. So then that way it looks like I really pop from the background. But that's it. Like, it's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then my main light and that light. So 7 lights in total. But it could be less than that. I could just use one floodlight. I could just use one floodlight, period, and then have these two and have 3 lights, and it would still look pretty decent. Yeah, absolutely, Tara. That's the smartest thing you can do. Like, in this room, there is no overhead light, so I can't use one anyway. But I have those blackout curtains back there, so they don't let any light in. There's some coming in right now, but that's because it's really hot in here. And I have the window open at this moment, and it's windy. But I use those blackout curtains to not let any light in, and then I've got a giant curtain over here, so the living room light doesn't leak into this room, and that stops all the light, and it makes this room fairly dark. Yeah, that's understandable, Ginger. That's understandable. I mean, I've seen, like, if you look at 7, what Seven did is she's like, so I've got my desk up against the wall and the room is behind me. She's literally just turned it around. So the wall is right behind her and then the rest of the room is behind the computer, like in front of her. So you guys don't see that. You guys would only see her wall. You could always do something like that. Although then cable management is kind of a nightmare because the cables are just kind of everywhere in real life. But then you could just light the wall behind you and just have a wall as your backdrop and there you go. So there's always options. It's just hard to kind of get them to work out the way you want, right? I considered doing that here, but because I like having freedom to do VR, I want to leave the room open so I can potentially do it at some point. I got a random question. How does Twitch allow you to stream to both platforms when you are an affiliate? You are not allowed to stream at the same time to both platforms. I'm not on Twitch right now. I'm just on YouTube. So Twitch can't do anything. They can't touch me. I could leave Twitch this second and never stream on Twitch again and just go to YouTube and they can't touch me. They only don't allow you to stream to Twitch and then use that exact stream somewhere else at the same time for 24 hours. Is the kids' playroom? Yeah, that makes sense. You set up and take down each time because it's a lot of our living room. Yeah, that's what I used to do. So where I used to live, when I first started streaming, it was my living room. And that's what I used to do. Every time I'd set up and take down, set up and take down. And then I lived by myself. So then I ended up like splitting off my living room and setting up the stream there. And I had, you know, those like wooden paper wood dividers. I had one of those and I stapled my green screen to that. And then that was behind me. So that was up all the time. And so that's kind of what I did for a while. And then eventually when I moved in to my parents after losing my job, it was my bedroom. And so then I did have to set up and take down because the room was so tiny, having a green screen up took up the whole room. So I'd have to take it down every single time. And then when we moved in with Alana, it was our bedroom again. So I had like the stream itself set up, but the background set up and take down, set up and take down. It was a pain in the butt. It was totally a pain in the butt. No, Wesley, you're allowed to stream anywhere else as long as it's not the same stream that's on Twitch. So if I'm live on Twitch, I can't share that anywhere else for 24 hours, and I'm not allowed to stream that exact stream somewhere else. So I could, you know how you see it on TikTok, the streamers go live and it's them talking and you're just kind of watching them. I can do that because that's a totally different stream than what you guys are seeing. Because this window is only belonging to Twitch, let's say. But a different point of view, a different camera angle, a different separate stream, they can't do anything about it because that's not the same stream. It's not the same content. Tiernan, hello. It's been a while. How are you? We'll afford the house by ourselves, and then I could move into the room our roommate lives in now when he's gone. Yeah, that'll be nice, man. So we're looking at potentially buying a house, hopefully within the next 3 years. And my plan is to still be a streamer then. The plan is that we're kind of talking either we're going to get a house that has a complete basement that has 2 rooms. So one can be Nora's playroom and one can be the stream room, or we end up getting it where the full basement is open and then we're going to kind of turn it into a stream room / living room, hangout room. And so basically the stream will be on one side of the living room and then the other side will be the living room itself, but I can like show my collection much nicer. And you know, if part of the living room is showing on screen, it's not a big deal. Right now we can't really do that because there's a bunch of windows in the living room and that would just ruin my lighting completely. But that's kind of what we're looking at, but that's going to be down the road. My understanding, Ginger, is that you need to have 1,000 followers, but some people can have less. TikTok is so weird. They don't have anything set in stone. So my understanding is you need to have 1,000 followers, but I've seen people comment that they can go live and they've got like 100 followers. Oh man, I haven't gone live on TikTok in a while, but I don't like those streams where it's literally the streamer ignoring chat and just kind of hanging out, you know? Time to go steal all my follows? Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, I think it's if you're a business account, you can go live when you're a bit smaller, but then you're limited by what sounds you can use and effects you can use, right? My Hey Retro, my next Hey Retro is gonna be weird without any, I mean share. My next Hey Retro is gonna be weird with no mustache, guys, and no beard. It's gonna be weird. What? Oh, it's birds. I could hear weird squeaking in my headphones. It's the birds in the background. All right, I guess we should get started. It's gonna be a really quiet stream today, so we should get started. We should just do our thing, you know? You have a Hey Retro idea? Tell me your magic ways. Tell me what you think I should do. Let's switch on over. Stop the music. Hello, Kira. How's it going? Welcome. How are you? You should send me the clip from your main stream. You should. Send it to me. Send it to me.
BD, could use your help here. Hey, BD, in here. Oh, you found something.
I'm tired today. I'm really tired today. Okay. Guess we go up. So, are you guys excited for the weekend? I have to work this weekend. I'm not excited about that. Being an adult stinks sometimes. Doing good, my friends. Sorry I haven't been around. I'm attending medical school. Am I finally done? I got my dream. Nice, Tiernan. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. There's been a kid doing that on my streams, and it's been really frustrating. It's been really frustrating.
Attack the enemy. Converge on the target.
It's too funny. I did one just like that. A few ago. It was the one about Resident Evil where I was like, oh, if you click there 150 times, you'll get something cool. But I didn't say what it was. My nose. So, because, you know, I'm a teenager. I'm growing a pimple right here on the tip of my nose, and it hurts so bad, but it's all itchy. But, like, just touching my nose hurts, and I need to scratch it so bad. It's killing me. I'm doing good. I'm really happy for you. That's really exciting. That's really, really exciting. It's going to lead to a much better life, too, because being a doctor can be quite a decent living. Maybe that's why that got so quickly in your head. Isn't it frustrating, though? Isn't it so frustrating? Like, I understand when somebody gives you a tip and they don't know and they're just trying to help and they're excited and you're like, just don't help. And they're like, okay, that's fine. But when they continue to do it and they're like, well, if you don't want my help, well, if you don't want my help, then I'm going to go. I'm like, yeah, I don't want your help. I don't. I still think my favorite comment I've ever gotten was that one kid that's like, this is so boring. All you do is talk. That's what a stream is. That's why you watch a stream, to see the person, not the gameplay. Like, what? Especially on YouTube. It's like, there are Let's Plays on here. Come on, man. And then I'll get comments that say I don't answer chat. It's like, what? Some people are saying I talk too much, and some people are saying I don't answer at all. Like, what is this? And try to time the kid out. Oh my god.
Time to fight.
I could use the stem.
Oh, I didn't mean to press that. Oh well. Too late now. Where am I heading? Hey Retro, where are we going? All the way back. Right? Right? Like, why? Why do I, first, why do I care? Second of all, why bother? Why bother messaging me about you not liking my content? If you don't like it, just go. Just go. You don't have to watch it. You don't. No one's forcing you to. There was a guy, this was great. This happened recently, and then he chickened out like a coward and deleted the message. But he commented on my video. I took one of my TikToks and posted it here on the shorts, and it was literally the whole thing about like using raids to try to grow, but not in like a connection grow, like the ones that are like, you know, follow me and I'll raid you, those people. So I made that TikTok and then I posted it on here. And this kid commented, I think the alert is gone because it used to still pop up as my, like as one of my notifications. Let's see if I can still see it. See if I can still see it. Okay, why is it bad intention to want to grow? And if you think people dislike content creators who raid for clout, you're mistaken. You're in the minority when you say that. You see them as people who don't care. I'm in the minority for people. No, you're the moron who thinks that they're trying to actually help you. The vast majority of streamers know that that doesn't help anybody and that they're doing it for clout and they don't care about the viewer that they're raiding. So I'm not in the minority. Every streamer who's somewhat successful will tell you that. But then they went and deleted the comment because they were too much of a coward to actually deal with me coming back at them. I'll raid you. I have a massive channel of like 50 whole people. Ginger. Hey, Mr. FOV, how you doing, man? It got cold. It got cold. It got cold. So suggestions in games, honestly, there are no suggestions in games that you can give. Anybody that gives you a suggestion in a game can only give you a suggestion of a game that you might enjoy, but for content, there is no suggestion in games. Some people blow up with games that are completely unpopular, and some people blow up with games that are super popular. Sometimes people play really popular games and they fail, so there's no suggestion for games. If you're looking to make content here on YouTube and you're not streaming, but you're posting videos, the average algorithm knowledge is it's got to be a 10-minute long video. It's got to be really well edited and really, really, really high quality. So we're talking the best sound you can get, the best video you can get. YouTube isn't like TikTok anymore. YouTube, you cannot get away with like do it yourself at home, sitting in front of a crappy light. It needs to be almost professional level. If you look at every new channel, they're almost professional level for them to get any kind of following. But as far as the physical amount you need to post, it's usually 2 to 3 times a week, 10-minute long videos on the same day at the same time. So if you post every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's always got to be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's always got to be at 1 o'clock. It's got to be super, super predictable so then the algorithm can like you. You want around 10 minutes or more because YouTube is much more long format. Short stuff doesn't really work, but they also have their shorts, which are like TikTok, and you can do really, really short videos really, really quickly. So that will also help your channel. Outside of that, it's really finding something that people are interested in watching, and that is, it's hard to know what it would be, right? Because like I watch Ryukar religiously, and he does Mario Maker content. I play Mario Maker content, and I get like 30 views. So it's really up to what works best for you. Oh man, that's a bummer. Did you end up lining up for hours? Maybe if I'm lucky, I'll even get 4. Holy crap, dude. And is it gonna be like, all I have to do is follow you and sub to you and donate to you? Yeah, man, they on average, they should be about 10 minutes for it to be worth it at all. And if you're playing Rainbow Six, you have to make sure that it's really interesting stuff. It's not just like, here's some gameplay. You know, make challenges for yourself, or like, I don't play Rainbow Six. I don't like first person shooters, so I couldn't tell you anything about that. But like, for me, I play Dark Souls. And then I'm going to say, you know what, guys, let's see how far we can get without using any health. And then I do a 10-15 minute video on me doing that. But it's not just like a straight gameplay, unless it's like a let's play. It's not straight gameplay. It's cut out the boring bits and show all the exciting stuff. And a lot of it has to be that way. YouTube has a really high bar now. YouTube isn't just make content and you'll get famous. You really have to think out what you're doing. And if you're taking less than 4 or 5 hours to make one video, you're not taking enough time. And that doesn't include gameplay. I'm talking like editing and putting it together, 4 or 5 hours. YouTube's bar is very high, very, very high now. Oh my God, that's crazy, Mr. FOV. All I need to do is follow and sub. Yes, man. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be famous. Pretzel, I'm doing really well. How are you? So glad you're getting noticed. You deserve. Very proud of you and being part of the community. Well, Tiernan, that really means a lot to me. That's very, very kind of you to say. It's very, very kind of you to say. It's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of work, but we're finally going somewhere with it. No problem, Ninja. Yeah, I haven't had a whole bunch of success here on YouTube. Most of my growth has been from streams, not from like content. I've had a couple of videos blow up, but nobody follows from them. They watch them, but they don't follow. But YouTube is about consistency, and I'm not consistent on YouTube. Pretzel, we're doing fine. My brother's doing really well. My brother is working a lot, so he's not streaming as often as he used to, and he streams exclusively on Twitch. But he's doing okay. You know, keep him busy. Man, Mr. FOV, that really sucks, but at least you got a new cooler. Did you find that it made any difference for your 1070? I was looking recently at video cards just to see if maybe I could like start saving up some money and get one. They don't even have 10 series cards at the stores around here. Like, they've got nothing. No 10 series, no 20 series, nothing. Like, nothing. Oh, and Tara, you're probably gone now, but thank you for hanging out, Tara. I appreciate you being here. Enjoy supper.
It's up! You and me now, Jedi. Yes! I'm gonna make you bleed.
Volume's kind of loud, isn't it? I think this is where I stopped the stream last week, because I ran out of time. I need to get back to this thing. That elevator across the pond and to the right.
Hey, BD, take a look. There was something in there.
Oh. Yes, I should. The video game told me to, so that's why I'm here.
Stay back, Jedi!
Oh! Oh! Ha! I still did it. I swear there's like a revive station somewhere around here, isn't there? Is that up there? Over there. Just so I don't have to do that all again. Just so I don't have to do it all again. This way and up.
Over here.
And Mr. FOV. Is there a reason you're excited for this weekend, Mr. Ginger?
Don't falter.
Firing. I won't stop.
I can't even go down.
Make him pay.
Flashbang out.
Target him.
Got it. I'm hit. It's quick.
Your death will be paying up for me. Ah, this will be easy.
BD!
Try and run.
Yes. Those two have been giving me a headache for weeks now. Technically weeks, because it's taking me forever to fight those two. So now that we're here, take the elevator. Oh, I started the stream and I didn't wear any shoes, so I can't, like, my feet are gonna hurt if I stand up. Do 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 do. Oh my gosh, my chat's been completely frozen for the last little bit. My chat's been frozen for a while. The last message I saw was, "How's Rigo and the family?" Could be better. You've got upper back pain. Oh no, Pretzel, how'd you do that? Sorry for the delay, guys. My chat was all frozen. How do you stream on Xbox? I've never done it, but there should be, you should be able to download the Twitch app. No, you should be able to push like the, let me see. Let me see real quick. Let me just turn that off real quick. If I push this. Nope. Nope. Record what happened. No. I don't know. I'm sure you can download like the Twitch app and maybe do it that way. I'm not 100% sure. I've never really done anything from Xbox before, so I couldn't tell you. But if you YouTube it, I am positive there will be explanations on how to. But the main thing is you never gave up and you can stand back and see the work pays off. Juice WRLD says, if you know who he is. I do not know who he is. Like, I know that he's some kind of rapper or something, but I have no interest in today's rap at all. Now I can't stop checking it. I blame you. Oh, dude, just wait. Just wait till you get something that gets you, like, a stupid amount of views. Like, when I get to when I do a video now, every time I do a Hey Retro, that's me all the time checking it. But when I first started, the first time I ever got like over 10,000 views on a video, I kept checking it every like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my god, 5 more views. Oh my god, 7 more views. Like, it was crazy. Now I posted that beard shaving video an hour and a half ago, and it's got 800 views, which is pretty decent, but it takes forever to grow. TikTok has really changed what they've done with their algorithm. Yeah, you have to run out of the Twitch thing. There you go. 400, nice, dude, nice. It's just the weekend that you get a chance to relax. Yeah, I have to work this weekend. Not looking forward to it. I'm tired. It's been like an exhausting year, but it's been an exhausting few weeks. I'm really tired. I want to just have a few days off and not do anything and just be lazy for a bunch of days, you know? Here we go.
Cordova believed the key to the vault is on Dathomir.
You find your Wookiee?
Yep. Things are bad down there. Empires everywhere.
Inquisitors?
Trilla, the second sister, is gone for now, but she's still chasing us. I defeated the ninth sister.
You making fun of the fact that your nephew carries you in Warzone, but that's it, right? Like comedy does really, really well on TikTok.
Cal,
Comedy
I was
is really,
captured by
really
the Empire.
popular.
I resisted. I swore to myself that I would die before I would talk. But then this
I'm not a nurse. I'm a nursing assistant.
came. And he was worse than any nightmare I could have imagined. And I still fought. But in the end, I came apart. And I gave them Trilla. And I know there's nothing I can do to make that right. But Cal, there's still a chance we can save the others on the holocron.
Okay, look.
It's a lot of salt,
The
dude.
ninth sister said something about becoming an Inquisitor, like it's a.
But yeah, I work in nursing, Pretzel.
But you went through the same thing she did, and you didn't join them.
Cal,
It's okay, Seer. We'll find Cordova's holocron.
Hey! Get your lasers off my lunch!
It's cool. I'm standing up right now. Okay, but where am I going?
I think next.
My elbow's hurting.
This Cordova guy is really putting some wear and tear on my ship.
you always wanted to explore the whole galaxy.
And did you?
We explored many planets. Tombs and temples related to the Zepho and Jedi. But I hit a limit. To him, there was no limit.
The poor
There's
crazy
never
old
a
guy was
limit.
left alone.
He was always alone, even when I was with him. He cared about his work and the future more than anything else. He didn't have the time. He was always on the move. Magana was the first place I ever saw that looked like he settled, even for a brief moment.
Sit down, kid. It's time to land.
No, I don't want to sit down. I just stood up. I just stood up. Oh, I didn't even realize that thing was covering my... where is it? This is the place that we went to last time, and I got my butt kicked.
Indoors. I got walls.
I got my butt destroyed here.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Hey, Cal. You and her. Is everything all right?
I don't know. That's not what's important right now.
You know, Seer believes in you. And to tell you the truth, I didn't really think that much of you at first.
You don't say.
I mean, she got me to follow you to the scariest place in the galaxy, so, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I hope you two can sort this thing out soon so we can finish this quest and go relax somewhere. I know a great castle on Takodana that makes the best bloody rancors in the galaxy.
Cal, you have a moment.
Not
We've come a
really,
long
but
way
let's do
since
it.
Bracca, but the path is far from over. I want you to know the difficult challenges ahead.
I can handle it.
I know what you can do. I'm not denying that.
And I know what has to be done. I've done it before.
Cal, even the strongest of Jedi.
I'm not Trilla. I'll be fine.
I know you're not. I didn't say that.
I'm not asking you to say anything. It's okay, Seer. Really.
Just be safe, Cal. That's all.
Just be safe, Cal. Just be safe. Did my chat freeze again? My chat probably froze again. Okay, no, it didn't. Good. 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 Nope. Oh, this way. It's been a while since I've been in this area. This game is still very impressive to look at. Like, I know it's not super old, but it's still really impressive. Crap. I did some shortcuts here though, didn't I? Well, that's where the shortcut is. Orbits, hello. Not too much, Ninja. You haven't missed too much. We flew to a planet. That was about it. Yellow looks sick. Well, I mean, I like it's orange. I don't know if that you're talking about the one I'm using, but I like the orange because those used to be like the complete channel colors. My channel colors used to be like proper orange. Now it's like a yellow orange. Ninja, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I've never streamed from those consoles, so I don't know, but you can YouTube it. Ginger was saying you need the Xbox, you need the Twitch app on the Xbox. Vid Magla, hello, how you doing? Welcome. I don't know where I'm going right now. Yeah, I've always used the capture card, so I don't actually know how to stream from consoles themselves. Something feels different. How did I get there last time? Okay, Ninja, have yourself a good night. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming to hang out. Have yourself a good sleep.
The outsider! We will end you! Brothers, attack! Attack the trespasser! You and me, then.
Copper, how's it going? Welcome, how are you? It's nice to see you. Diddling, 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 diddling. Two. Does it take two? What is this? Cal covers additional life when using sim. Yeah. Yeah. More health. Yeah. I want more stim packs though. I don't know how to get more. And rest.
Outsider, over there.
I'm good, you know, just hanging out. A bit of a quiet stream here, but that's just how it works.
Have to try harder.
You know, this game treats me like I should be better by this point, but I think the game's wrong. I think the game's wrong. It doesn't realize how terrible I am at this. It's locked from the other side. Whoa!
Not so bad. Stop moving. Not much more now.
I could use a stem.
I almost died. Okay. So the last time I was here, I got my butt handed to me. I'm doing better now, but not great. I don't like the dual saber. Everybody was going on and on about how I needed to have dual sabers, and I think they suck.
That hit the spot.
Look out! An adversary. I got you. Ah, I missed.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
He's running away. Join me, brother. I knew I could win.
Oh, I knew I was gonna die. I knew it. I just knew it. That's okay, though. That's okay. Standing here playing a video game while streaming, it reminds me of when I used to work at, when I used to go to like Walmart and stuff, and they used to have Mario 64 as a display, and you would sit there and play like a little kid. Brings back so many memories of being a child.
Down there. Recklessly. I won't fail you, brothers.
Yeah, we'll do it next time, hopefully. As long as I can get through this area without dying. It's good. This is the first time I'm streaming with it, and I spent all day sitting, so my back was starting to hurt after about an hour and a half, so now I'm standing. I forgot to wear shoes, so I'm probably going to stand for like 20 minutes before my feet start to hurt, and then I'll sit down again. But it's nice to be able to stand up and actually stretch my legs while streaming. So it's nice, and I can move around and position myself and feel a little bit better, you know?
Enough running.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice upgrade. Come on. And now, where are you?
Jedi.
Boom!
Yep, there you go. What is it, BD?
Advance on him. I won't fail you, brothers.
I think this is where I got stuck last time. Because I couldn't go any further. According to this, I can, but I don't know how. Let's see. Ah, and then I wall run here, and then boom! Aha, okay. I've never been to this area now. It's gonna be interesting. Give me just a second, folks. I did. You can't see it here. Can you see it here? I don't know, maybe. Yeah, you can see it right there. Right there. There it is, my little tiny mini fridge. It's great. It's awesome. My drink was in there and it was nice and cold. Oh, was I supposed to not go down here? Oh no, this is the way.
Oh, fellow wanderer. I see you met the resident Night Sister, but unlike most, you're alive. Well, lightsaber? No, don't hide it. That would explain your survival.
Who are you?
No one to fear. Just a traveler, studying the nature of extinct cultures and dead philosophies.
You study the Night Sisters?
I study many things. But yes, that Night Sister, oh, she was only a child when the war came to this world. She had to watch her whole family perish.
What do you know about those ruins?
Oh, ancient beyond belief. The Night Sister and her warrior kin were seduced by the power.
Oh, she was seduced.
Avoid the ruins, or suffer the same fate.
Brothers and outsiders.
No, you won't. No, you won't. You're not avenging anybody.
Looks climbable, but not without equipment.
Oh, snap!
Die! You'll rot in the swamps.
That was crazy. Only a little bit scary, though. Only a little bit.
Phew. Can't believe we made it. You sure
Of course you made it, Cal, because you're the protagonist of this video game, so you can't die. Just so you know. You should know that. What? Come on. Come on, lame. Is this a save point? It is. Might as well just sit down. I know it's much harder than what I could do. I could never climb a rope. I could never, ever climb a rope. Ever. All right, folks. I'm going to leave it there tonight. Really, really short stream today, but I'm not feeling so hot today. So I think I'm going to leave it there. We're just going to leave it. I'm not feeling too good. I had something. I think it didn't sit well with my self-esteem. No. Well, it didn't sit well in my stomach, and I'm just not feeling 100%. I don't know. Maybe I pushed myself too hard. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna leave it there. If you guys are interested, we will be live tomorrow on Twitch. No, Pretzel, because like you're like the only person talking. Copper's been talking a little bit. I don't like raiding with 1 or 2 people. It comes off as like self-promo. Not a big fan of that. So I'm just gonna leave it because there's literally me, you, and Copper watching, and that's it. And so it's just not worth it. So I'm just gonna leave it, and we're gonna head out. But I will be back tomorrow over on Twitch. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be doing these YouTube streams because nobody's coming. So there's no point when there's people that are actually interested in watching the stream over on Twitch. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing these, but who knows? Anyways, way to celebrate my anniversary. I just realized that today is my 4-year anniversary here on YouTube. But that's life. Hey, congratulations to Mrs. Ginger Gamer. That's exciting. That's exciting, dude. And then you can have your stream room in the near future, hopefully. That's awesome. That is so awesome. But anyways, I will be back tomorrow. We do our spoopy stream tomorrow, so if you're looking for watching me scream like a baby and freak out, then come hang out. I will be here. Not here. I'll be on Twitch tomorrow. We are playing Man of Medan, which is quite a scary game, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. So if you guys are interested, come hang out. I will be doing that. I'm going to get myself out of here. I'm going to go rest for a little bit. And yeah, thank you, Pretzel. Thank you. We're going to be celebrating on Monday. We'll be celebrating. It'll be a bit of a longer stream over on Twitch. I don't know what I'll be doing, but I'm going to be doing something to celebrate it, because today I can't because I got to work early tomorrow anyway, and I got to work early on Friday as well, so there's just no way, or no, Saturday as well, so there's just no way I can really do anything these next couple of days. So Monday I'll be doing something. I'll make a video on TikTok about it and everything, and then we'll see if we have like an anniversary celebration. 4 years. 4 years of live streaming. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Have yourselves a really great night. I love you all. Thank you so much for hanging out, and thanks for being here, guys. All right, see you guys later.